Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Talking Daily Sports. I'm your host, Luke Harden. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon, October 1st. We finally hit October. And if you can see me on YouTube, you can see on my shirt, I'm a very happy man today. The Atlanta Braves have clinched the division last night. They did clinch the division. It was a long road, to say the least. It was a long road. And, after losing everybody, I think it was gutsy. And I don't know why I was so happy last night. Obviously, we've done it 4 straight years now, but there was something about that last night that just made it a little bit more special. Obviously, losing Ronald Acuna and everything we've had to battle through, didn't get above 500 till game 109. So I'm a very happy man, and it's going to be a very happy podcast today. So let's jump right into it. Today's episode is going to be primarily talking about the Ryder Cup. Obviously, the Ryder Cup was last week, and I can tell you the United States absolutely dominated that last weekend, as they should have. This was probably the best constructed U.S. team, Ryder Cup team ever, and they showed it on the course. It was pretty spectacular. They won, I believe, 17.5 to 7.5 or somewhere around there. It might have been 18.5. I don't know. It was a crazy, it was fun to watch. There's no doubt about that. Dustin Johnson went 5-0 in his pairings, his individual. He dominated. Him and Colin Morikawa, they are just an unbeatable pair. They are probably the best pairing in foursome and two ball, or no, for the foursome and two or four ball. It was pretty masterful to watch. The one thing, John Rahm was spectacular. He had 3.5 points for the European team. He was no doubt about it. He's obviously the number one player in the world for a good reason. He is the best golfer right now, and I really don't think it's genuinely close. Even though he's on the European side, he dominates week in and week out. He's just putting it on the line, and obviously he's had some things with COVID in the past few months. He was leading by like 5 shots at the Memorial Tournament and had to forfeit with the lead. But then came back and won the U.S. Open. I want to say it was the U.S. Open. And to say the least, it was very he's a fun player to watch. He's probably one of the best players obviously you guys got guys like Tiger Woods and other guys, but watching John Rahm play is something else. So shout out to John Rahm, even though the United States won. So I'm a happy man, along with the Braves obviously winning. But it was a fun weekend. Obviously I watched all 3 days. The shot by Jordan Spieth, probably one of the best shots I've ever seen live. It was one of the craziest shots I've ever seen. Sadly, JT missed the putt, but what can you do about that? Sometimes it happens. But obviously in the end, it didn't wind up mattering because the U.S. dominated on singles all day long. They dominated the whole week. And it was the best, probably one of the best single team performances in Ryder Cup history. Scotty Scheffler was straight up dominant. Obviously, he's never won on the PGA Tour before yet, which is, that it's very unusual to get a Ryder Cup player that's never won on the PGA Tour. Scotty Scheffler was the first, I believe, or one of the first, and he handed it to John Rahm in the singles matches. We've won 4-3 or 3-2. I don't know. It was He won, I think, in a hole 16, so it might have been 2-1. I don't know, or 3-2. I don't remember, but it was very fun to watch. He was awesome all week long. Him and Bryson DeChambeau were awesome. Bryson DeChambeau just continues to do what he's doing. He's actually at the Long Drive Championship in Mesquite, Nevada, and he's moved on to the round of 16 in that competition. Sure, shout out to Bryson DeChambeau. You know, there's been some controversy, but if you did see on social media, Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, they're not going to be best friends, but it was kind of cool to see those two guys, you know, hash it out. And at least for the week, you know, they might not be best friends forever, but you know, it was really cool to see those two guys celebrating regardless of the beef or whatever you want to call it. So shout out to those guys and shout out to the Ryder Cup for having a great week. And it was fun to watch. Going to move on to baseball. As you can see, both the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros locked up their divisions last night. Obviously, the Braves swept the Phillies in dominating fashion. Their pitching was off the charts good. Charlie Morton and Max Fried both went 7 innings, 1 run combined between the two of them. And then Ian Anderson went 6+, gave up 2 runs, and ended up sweeping the Phillies out of town. And they will play the Milwaukee Brewers next week. But there's some crazy. I mean, I don't know what is going to go down in the AL wild card. As I said multiple times before, we sit here on Friday afternoon. The Mariners and the Red Sox are tied for the number 2 spot in the wild card. The Yankees are the number 1 spot, and the Blue Jays are sitting a game behind. So, I mean, I really would love to see the Mariners make it. America's team, baby. But we'll see. The Mariners play the Angels. The Blue Jays play the Orioles, I think. I'm pretty sure they play the Orioles. And then I don't know who the Red Sox play. And the Yankees play the Rays. So who knows? Who really knows? It's probably one of the craziest wild cards I've ever seen. Coming down to 4 teams in the final 3 days. And I'm excited. Obviously, the Dodgers and the Giants are still battling it out. I think the Giants have it on lock, though. What a year those two teams have had, considering that the Dodgers are going to be a 104-win team, possibly 105-win team, and have to play a 1-game wild card against the hottest team in baseball in the St. Louis Cardinals, who have won 18 of 19 games in the last, month. I mean, they are just on another level right now. And that's October baseball. When you get hot, we saw it in 2019 with the Washington Nationals. If you get hot at the right time, anything can happen. That's what I'm obviously hoping with the Braves. The last few years we've been, kind of gone ice cold. We win the division 2 weeks early and get ice cold. So I think you're going to see, the Braves rest some guys the next 2 days, and then Sunday it's go time, get those guys ready, get those guys at bats. And then come Friday, I believe it's Friday, up in Milwaukee, it's going to be a fun time. I wish I could go. If I have talked to my friend, if the Braves have a lead in the series Monday or Tuesday, I'm 100% driving up. I don't care about school. School can wait, because those are some of the best atmospheres in baseball. I've been to multiple playoff games before. I went to both game 2 and game 5, game 1 and game 5 of the Cardinals and Braves in 2019. Sadly, game 5, both of them were lost, but the atmosphere is unbeaten. But any sport, in my opinion, that I've been to personally, even a college football game, it's unlike any atmosphere I've ever been to. That's what you love about sports fans. Baseball is a game where people come together, and and especially in the South, the Braves are like one of the few teams that has fans from Obviously I'm in the state of Mississippi right now, and there's a ton of Braves fans. Then you got Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way up to, Kentucky, wherever. I think that's what makes it so cool is there's Braves fans all around the country, and they're one of the most followed fan bases or one of the most followed teams in baseball, along with the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and the Los Angeles Dodgers, as people know, and the Giants and so on. And, you get it. You get the point. But yeah, I'm excited for playoff baseball. If I can't go, that it is what it is, but good luck to your team if they're in the playoffs. Obviously, if they're not, get ready for the off season, because I think it's going to be fun off season. I'm excited for the off season. I'm excited, guys, bring you guys content in the off season. And yeah, that's pretty much it for our baseball. And we can talk about the NFL. Obviously, there's only been 2 games since we last recorded. The Packers not the Packers, the Eagles and the Cowboys, where the Cowboys offense with Dak Prescott is just another level. Their defense still, I think, needs a little bit of work. It's gotten better, obviously way better than last year's defense under Dan Quinn. Shout out Dan Quinn, even though he kind of went on a downfall for the Falcons in the last few years. But the Cowboys are, I think, the favorite to win the NFC East. I think they're the favorites to win it with that offense. Obviously, you got the Eagles, the Redskins, or excuse me, not the Redskins, the Washington football team. And why am I blanking on who the other team is? Giants. I'm stupid. Sorry, Giants fans. It's hard to remember Giants fans. They're just the Giants because they're in a rough spot, to say the least. They might be one of the worst teams in football, along with the Jets. So 2 New York teams struggling. But I think the Cowboys do win that division. I think the Eagles maybe make a run. I think those are the only 2 teams. I don't think Washington is good enough, but we'll see. And then the yesterday's Thursday night game, starting with the Bengals and the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence looked a lot better this week. The Bengals did wind up winning on a game-winning field goal by Evan McPherson, 24-21. Despite the Bengals playing the Jaguars, I think the Bengals are legit. I think they're going to make a run at that division with the Ravens and the Browns. The Steelers are going to need to bench Big Ben. I think it's long overdue to bench Big Ben, start Mason Rudolph, start Dwayne Haskins. And it's not necessarily Ben's fault. He's a competitor, but the fact that he can't throw more than a 5-yard pass is alarming. And obviously he's had battled injuries and injury after injury, and it's long overdue. I believe I think he's going to be benched in the next few weeks, if not this week. We'll see. Mike Tomlin needs to figure it out, or that team is going to go in the wrong direction. Obviously, they got a very good defense, but that offense is just not the same. Do we have anything else to talk about? Let me think. I believe that wraps things up. Obviously, a huge weekend of college football, as I said last episode. I'm actually going to Tuscaloosa this weekend for that game, so I'm excited about that. I'll film some content. Maybe I'll vlog. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to get some content out there and hope you guys can enjoy. And hopefully it's a great game. Obviously, I hope Ole Miss comes out on top, if you guys can see that. But obviously, I hope Ole Miss comes out on top. But at the end of the day, we will see. And good luck to your guys' team and whoever else is in that hunt. And I will talk to you guys next episode. Peace, guys.